Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm here to give you my thoughts on the 1-1 draw between Stoke and Luton. I love Ali. Ali, for me, best player on the pitch by a mile. He's the one that saved us today. Every other Luton player lacked so much quality in the final third. It frustrated me so much. We got in these attacking areas so often throughout the whole game, and we just didn't make use of being in these areas. And I'm going to talk about that later on in the video. But he was the only one for me, Ali, that had the quality, had that direct style of play, could cause Stoke problems at any given point. And for me, best player on the pitch by a mile, deserved the goal, and what a great goal it was. Before I go into detail about today's game, please can we smash the like button and also leave a comment below on your thoughts on the game. Liking and commenting helps the video perform better on YouTube. Also, I'm live streaming tomorrow, going into this game in a lot more detail and answering any football questions you may have. And we will be watching some Champions League games and also some EFL matches as well. So if you're free and available tomorrow evening, come and join my live stream. So, the starting 11, one change to the side. Elijah Adebayo came out and Chong came in. There was a formation change. James Shea said on his co-coms on iFollow that it was two number 10s with Asgard playing alongside Chong as the other number 10. I didn't feel like it worked, only because Chong, for me, went missing quite a lot. Asgard, he can get on the ball and do some tidy stuff. His vision, his quality is there. But Chong isn't the same type of player. Chong needs to get on the ball and, drive at the opposition defence. And I didn't feel like he did that. And at times, especially during the first half, I felt we were playing with 10 men. We definitely lacked so much quality in the first half. We could have had a penalty shout inside the first 20 seconds. I did think it was very soft on Isaiah Jones. Stoke had a pretty much similar penalty shout in the 9th minute, which at the time looked a little bit more forceful, but I think it was due to the fact that it was at much faster speed compared to the Isaiah Jones one in the first 20 seconds. McGuinness got a silly yellow card in the first 10 minutes, and I did get a little bit concerned because I thought, oh my god, not another player that could potentially get sent off. And talking about players potentially getting sent off, Morris, wow, he's lucky. And I say he's lucky because it all depends what type of referee you've got. If you've got a weak referee, they will send him off for that. In fact, a weak referee most likely would have gave the penalties for those two challenges for both teams. I felt like if he would have gave the first one inside the first 20 seconds of the game, he definitely would have gave the one on the 9th minute. Now, the referee did cause Stoke fans so many problems, frustrating them. In fact, there were some decisions that I felt, Stoke, I can understand why they're frustrated with, because we were doing some dark arts in our tackling and winning the ball back. We were doing a lot of pulling in the shirt. Of course, Stoke were doing the same to us. But yeah, I can understand why Stoke fans were frustrated throughout the whole game. But I definitely feel like the free kick, which resulted in the first goal for Stoke, well, the only goal for Stoke, was not a foul. What can Fane do? What can he do? He hasn't done that on purpose. The Stoke players ran into him and he's been fooled by it. I don't know what Fane could do. He's trying to get out of the way with it. I just don't understand how that's possibly a foul. And that resulting free kick, it takes a deflection of Reece Burke and it goes in. Nothing which Thomas could do about it. But honestly, I don't think it's a foul in the first place. But back to the first half, I did feel like we were the better side. I thought for large portions of the game, we were the better side. I thought defensively, I didn't feel like Stoke troubled us. They had a few counter-attacking moments throughout the whole game, but we dealt with it pretty much. Apart from one save in the second half, which Thomas did, the other chances which Stoke had came from set pieces, easy headers which Thomas was able to claim. But apart from that, Thomas didn't do much. But then again, from a Stoke perspective, they could also say the same thing about us. Yes, we had the ball and we were in these attacking areas, but how many saves did Victor Johansson make, the Stoke City keeper, made? Not much. 1 or 2 in the second half, if that. We need to do more in these attacking areas. So often we are taking that extra touch when we don't need to. We're overhitting the cross. We are lacking so much quality in the final third. And I don't blame Matt Bloomfield on that. What can he do? He's picking up, he's playing a style of play. He's playing a formation that allows the Luton players to have these, chances, getting into these areas of the pitch where we can create clear-cut opportunities. And the players themselves are not, producing the quality on the pitch. So these players need to take more responsibility. In the second half, especially after Stokes, scored their goal, I was getting more frustrated because we were getting in these areas and we just weren't doing enough for me. It did frustrate me on plenty of occasions. Now, I don't want to forget, I'm looking at my notes now, Asgard had a really good chance from outside the box. It was on the volley, but that was pretty much like the best chance in the first half which we had. Apart from that, what else did we really do? Morris, I've already spoken about it briefly. His first, his first challenge that made him get a yellow card, I thought was quite harsh. There were one or two moments where we were breaking away and the Stoke player didn't get booked, but when we were doing it, we ended up getting booked. Inconsistent refereeing there, but that start of the second half, that first 2 minutes, I really thought Morris was going to get sent off, and that's what we don't need right now. We don't need silly sending offs, which could cost us the game. But yeah, back to Ali, because the best thing about that game was Ali. The amount of times he was getting on the ball and he was driving into the box. He had a good chance at the start of the second half. He ran into the box, took on a few of the players, had a shot, and it was a good block by the Stoke City defender, and it just went over the bar. Of course, if the player didn't block it, I can definitely feel like that would have been a dead certain goal. But Ali with his direct play causing all sorts of problems. McGuinness from the resulting corner had a free header from the corner. If he gets that on target, I don't think the goalkeeper saves it because of the pace of the ball. So that was a big chance missed there. Makoso, he came off. I don't know if he had a knock. Reece Burke ended up replacing him. I wasn't really against any of the substitutions. Bola, when he came on for the final 10 minutes, looked lively. He actually, during those final 10 minutes, I felt did a lot more than what Chong did throughout the whole 80 minutes when he was on the pitch. Bola, he had a chance when he came on to have a shot at goal. I think he just lost his footing, but that was a really good opportunity there to get a shot away. But honestly, Chong, he needed to do a lot more. But in terms of our goal, Ali, Isaiah Jones on the right-hand side puts in a lovely ball into the box. Clark tries an overhead kick, probably the best assist of the season, falls to Ali on the left side, does his man, and hits the ball as hard as he can. Sometimes that's what you got to do, hard and low sometimes, or just hit it with a bit of pace. You don't know what could happen, slow reactions from the keeper and that, but he got beat by the near post. I think the power of the ball just beats him completely. Nothing really I felt the keeper could have done about it. But yeah, we get back into the game and get that equaliser in the 90th minute. I do think we deserved something from the game. Of course we want to win, I get that, but at least this keeps the unbeaten run going. I feel like a defeat as well. I feel like the confidence amongst the fan base and also amongst the players, it would have dropped massively. But the fact that the unbeaten run is going is fantastic. Now we have a fantastic opportunity on Saturday against a Blackburn side that are not on the best of form. I think they came back from 2 goals down against Sheffield Wednesday this evening, so they might have some confidence. But overall, we should have more confidence than what they have. They're coming away. We've got to use our home form as the advantage, the home crowd, get behind the players and see what we can do. Today's game, for me, is a poor result for Stoke, but a better result for us. You heard the Stoke fans towards the end of the game booing the players. They were definitely not happy with the performance. If I was a Stoke fan, I definitely wouldn't be happy with that. Definitely not good enough, especially going forward. And also at the back as well, I know we didn't do ourselves any favours with lacking that quality in the final third, but I do feel like if we showed a bit of quality like we did in the Sheffield United home match and also the Borough home match in our chances, we definitely would have scored 1 or 2 more goals than we did in today's game. But yeah, it's got to be worked on. We need to figure out something going forward and get it to start clicking. I don't know if things will start improving if we drop Morris out the side and play Nordas going forward. Big decision for Matt Bloomfield to make if he really wants to improve Luton in front of goal. A couple more things I do want to mention. Set pieces, yet again, we had about like 6 or 7 in the first half. Can't believe we didn't really make the most of our set pieces. Something's wrong in the set piece department. We went from being really deadly from set pieces, finding our only way of scoring goals was from set pieces, and now we don't even look like we can score from a set piece. So corners definitely need to improve. Hopefully the injury to Alfie Doughty is not too serious. If he does have a hamstring injury, which looks like it is following the game against Leeds, let's not play him against Blackburn, because we have time after that. He has more recovery time if he doesn't play this weekend. Don't force him to play. We can cope with him for one game missing, but if he does his hamstring even further, then you're in for a problem, and he's going to be missing for the next couple of games. And we're not exactly strong in our wing-back positions, especially with Matt Bloomfield not really rating Hashi or Walters in those positions. So yeah, overall, look, it's a point away from home. On paper, I said we needed to get something. Of course, we want the 3 points. We're in the bottom 3. But look, fantastic opportunity on Saturday to win. And on Saturday, it's looking like a must-win game, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. I'm happy that we managed to get that equalizer towards the end. I went absolutely mental in my room. But yeah, I'm glad we haven't lost. We didn't deserve to lose that. So look, onwards and upwards. Come on, Luton. Let's sort ourselves out in terms of front of goal. And then things will hopefully, we start winning more games by more than one goal. But at the back, I don't think there was a problem defensively. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to follow me across all my social media if you haven't done already. And I'll see you guys in the next video.